What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and apologize for the light video week. It's been kind of crazy at work, but I want to talk tonight about how do we navigate the current Pokemon market, which is absolutely insane. Uh, Pretty much everything's at an all-time high, and I kind of revert to a lot of folks that I have experience with in my career with private equity and family office, really, where there's folks where they've had money sitting there forever. And ultimately, it's a completely different mindset than what a lot of people have in the TCG space. So most people look at something and they say, okay, well, how much can I make? What's the payback? What's your reward? Like, it's almost like a lottery ticket mentality. But folks who have money and have had money for generations, they look at things and say, I'm okay giving things up. I'm okay not going after an opportunity, whether it's a 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, as long as I don't lose my capital. So in this market, I kind of defer to that space where, in my mind, it's really how do I invest in the lowest risk assets, um, specifically in Pokemon, as we're talking right now. So Prismatic. The SBCs are going to be reprinted in August. The bundles, they're going to keep coming out. But the ETBs, this is probably near the end of the reprint. So from a downside perspective, it's probably okay to start buying in. Surging Sparks, we're oh my god, we're 6.5 months into release. It's going to get reprinted again. So even if you buy it, you get a good price. It's probably going to be dead money for a long time. And again, I look at this from the standpoint of apologize, my throat's all messed up. All of these assets in 3 years, they're going to be up pretty significantly. Because again, the reason why most people in Pokemon is because for the last 29 and a half years, it's just gone up 100% of the time. But again, this is relative. So Surging Sparks is going to get reprinted. It's going to get reprinted multiple times. There's probably not much downside, but there's not a whole heck of a lot of upside. So again, going back, Prismatic ETBs, probably very little downside from where we're at. The SPCs, there could be, there could not be. That one's a little bit of a fickle product where folks are going to love it or they're going to hate it. The booster bundles are going to trade with the loose packs. And I look at the loose pack price as effectively the commodity, right? There's not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of premium. It's just it is what it is. This is what the rip and shippers are going to pay, and that's that. So Journey Together, I would probably hold off right now because I know there is a second wave coming at some point. I did confirm, and I've said this in other videos, that there have been rumors about the Australian and the European reprint having no box topper. Those are confirmed from folks that I know. So this is my confirmation that those are boxes printed not in the US. Every box printed in the US has the box topper. So in the US, we're assuming that the second wave that comes, they're all going to have the box topper because they were just printed that way. So, there's more coming. Prismatic Evolution Surprise Box. I just want to go through the list here very quickly. $50, it's as low as it's going to get. The promo is always going to carry a $15, $20 premium. You got the 4 packs at $40. So, it's not going to go much lower. And the big dump that we got in the last month, it was just the second wave of product. So, it is what it is. The Prismatic Booster Bundle display, it's really European. They didn't come out in the US. So if you want it, it's cool. Not a terrible price. 10 at, I guess it's $100 each. One in the US, it's 60, 65. But anyway, Paldea Evolved. Love the set. I hate the price. It's overpriced right now compared to the rest of the sets in SV1, SV3, and SV4. That's just the way I feel. Paldean Fates booster bundles. These packs are going to be $20 before you know it. This set is going to go out of print in April of next year. There's almost no downside on the set. So Paldean Fates, anything you buy, there's a very limited floor. And speaking of floors, Shrouded Fable, the one set that everybody shits on. It is a fairly high quality set. It's not going to get a reprint. And if you buy it, it's not going to go down from here, not significantly. However, if you need liquidity, that could be an issue. So, if you buy 100 ETBs of Shrouded Fable at $60, and all of a sudden you need $6,000, you might get $4,500 because it's not super high demand. Now in 6 months that could change, and you can walk away with $10,000. We just don't know. Paradox Rift. I love the set, by the way. Go to the Discord, go to nontcg.com. We are selling European cases, so it's English cases. The hits are printed in the US. The non-hits are printed in the Netherlands for $11.50 a case shipped. If you're interested, that's cool. If you're not, that's fine as well. A lot of folks haven't paid a whole lot of attention to European printing just because countries don't really cross and there hasn't been much of a reason to import, export, etc. But the print quality it's superior. So from my experience in opening these and the rest of the folks in Discord, the cards in the early SV era, they were damaged just based on, I guess, pathing is the word. Whatever the, the packing mechanism is to like cram the cards in the pack. So in the Netherlands, they don't seem to be as invasive, intrusive, whatever you want to use on the card. So the hit cards tend to be much cleaner. There's no chips. There's no scrapes on the surface. They tend to be nice. So that being said, just real quick, Twilight Masquerade. I don't love the $255 price. There's still a year left on it. I would probably go for the booster bundles right now. And I know the math doesn't make the most sense if you can get them at 40 or 45. But that's a tough one for me. Black white 130, no way. Stellar Crown. I think I mentioned the other night. There is a second wave, in my view, coming at some point. I don't think it ever hit distribution. At $215, the price value is not great. It's not nearly as bad as Obsidian, but I would probably. There's probably not a whole lot of downside, but there's also not a whole lot of upside. And then, the Paldean Fates ETB, and I want to touch on ETBs in general. So ETBs have not been reprinted since the end of 2023, when a lot of the end of the Sword and Shield era ETBs were reprinted. There's no reason to reprint them now. There is so much demand for cards. Printing ETBs is a pain in the ass. It's not efficient, and you need all the Chinese plastic parts, which, given the current political climate and all kinds of other logistical issues, it's a problem. So any ETB that you're buying today is probably not going to be reprinted, and that's not just SV 1 through 4, but also 5 through 10 at this point. It's not going to happen. The PC ETBs probably not going to happen, etc. Obsidian Flames, not a whole lot upside, not a whole lot of downside. You look at all the prismatic ancillary products. I peg them the pack price, and that's really the floor. Temporal. This is in a weird spot because it doesn't rotate out until April of 2027. I don't see a whole lot of product coming. The second wave did come in November, December. Came through a handful of select distributors because other folks didn't want it. They didn't think they could move it. I just think what's out there is what it is, and at $216, it's a good price. And the same with SV Base. SV Base, it's been reprinted, and there's no downside in my opinion because it's just not going to be done again. There's no shot. So, not much else to talk about. Let's see. We hit SV base, Paldea evolves, fates. Oh, 151. 151. They're going to print all summer. They're going to print all holiday season. If you can get it cheap, sub $10 a pack, do it. If not, I'd probably hold off because you're going to have the opportunity again. Um, you know, Obsidian again, not great. Paradox, it's a steal. Temporal's a steal. Twilight, I'm on the fence. Stellar's probably a little bit on the upside, but if they don't reprint, it could be good. And then you get the Surging, dead money for a year, in my view. Same with Journey Together. Destined Rivals, I mean, that's probably the best set of the era. Ultimately, they're going to be $1,000 booster boxes in 3 years, but right now, they're kind of stuck where they are. So, anyway, guys, wanted to talk about just focus on the downside. If most people out there who've been in Pokemon, they've built a material amount of investment and net worth in the product. You don't want to piss it away and let it go to waste. And a lot of folks talk about don't buy the EX boxes and blisters and this and that, and I agree. I mean, you want to stay in the booster boxes, the booster bundles, and the ETBs. Those are the most liquid, the easiest products to move because it's what people want. The the sleeve booster boxes or sleeve booster cases here, with what I saw. This is these are good as well. Just because the rip and shippers. There's a couple different schools of thought. One, with the whole scanning thing, microwave, whatever, with the foil, it's an issue. But if you have sleeve boosters, it's not. So yeah, they're going to have a little bit of premium to the loose boosters. So anyway, guys, just want to talk through this. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord again. We're selling Paradox Rift European boxes. They are in English. They're the exact same boxes and cards that we have here. $11.50 per. It's an on tcg.com. And, if you like it, great. If not, that's great. Have a good night. We'll talk soon.